national forests are truly spectacular places. They offer great opportunities for outdoor recreation. And after a busy day in the woods, there's nothing better than to tell stories by the campfire. Yet every time we're having a campfire, do we realize that we're putting our forests at risk? That's a question that I want to answer, so join me as I set out and delve into the topic of forest fire prevention and safety. Hi there, I'm Kathy, and today here we are in Wyoming, where we're going to talk about forest fires. We're going to cover the topics of why do forest fires start, why are they becoming so big and so frequent, and how can we prevent forest fires, and even what are prescribed burns. So let's get to it, and the first stop on our list, we're going to go check out an area that has experienced a forest fire and see the new rebirth of the forest. So let's go! Whoa, check it out. As we can see, a wildfire has obviously been through this area, and it hasn't left much. The trees are completely dead. All that remains are their charred standing tree trunks. The good news is we can already see rebirth. Grass is growing, new vegetation is starting to come up. It's gonna take a while, but hopefully this forest will once become what it was at one time. So how do forest fires get so big and so devastating? In order to answer this question, we need to head to a much healthier part of the forest. Now here I am in Medicine Bow National Forest. I am in a lodgepole pine forest. This is an area that would be very vulnerable to forest fires. As you can see, there is a lot of dead vegetation and downed trees, and the wind does blow across this mountain quite frequently. So if there ever was a forest fire, this would be a very dangerous situation. And there's also a lot of beetle kill, and that is really bad. And the good thing is that the Forest Service is doing a lot of work to get all that dead lumber out and to do reforestation for new forests to grow. But until then, we need to do our part in keeping the forest safe and preventing wildfires. One of the reasons that forest fires are starting is because we do not know how to correctly put out our campfires. The fact is, we think that just because the flames are out, the fire is out, but that's often not the case. Down below those coals, there's probably glowing coals that could easily spark up and create a new fire, and in turn that could get out of hand and create forest fires. One of the best ways to prevent wildfires is to know how to handle your own campfire and how to be safe with that. So before you even have a campfire, make sure you pick a good place to have that campfire, like an established campfire ring or a good clear space without a lot of vegetation that could potentially catch on fire. After that, you want to make sure that you have enough water to put out that fire. A good sized bucket is going to definitely do the trick, not a tiny pail. That definitely won't be enough. So after you have that fire, make sure that in order to put it out good, after you have all the flames out, make sure to stir up the coals, because you will find glowing coals that could potentially spark up in the night and get out of hand. So if you make sure to just get those coals good and make sure everything's just dead out cold, then you should be good and your fire should be out. Now we know how to put out our campfires, but if we really want to play it safe, we need to know when not to have a campfire, because sometimes there are times when it's just too dry or too dangerous to even have a fire. Now you've probably seen those Smokey the Bear signs that greet you on camping trips and indicate whether fire danger is high, when the risk is low, or when it's like moderate. Now if you see a sign that says that fire danger is high, or if you see a sign prohibiting campfires in your area, it's probably best not to have a campfire, and make sure to listen to those signs because they're there for a reason. Now, sometimes it is disappointing to, not have a campfire. And I have a good alternative. If you want to roast marshmallows, but you can't have any campfires in your area, most RVs do have gas stoves, or if you have one of those like Coleman stoves, or even like a simple backpacking jet oil stove, take that out and just roast your marshmallows over that. It'll usually do the trick, and it's not dangerous. Although forest fires can be very dangerous, they can actually be very beneficial to a forest as well. Now, the Forest Service is having prescribed burns to overall promote the health of the forest. And now, my first experience with this was we were heading up on this camping trip to Red Feather, and we saw smoke, and naturally we were freaking out because we thought there was like a fire in the area. Turns out they had a prescribed burn. Now, what this is they literally stake off this area of forest and they set it on fire. They have this small mini contained fire that burns down overgrown areas of the forest, enabling new trees and new vegetation to grow in its place, and overall it's very good for the forest. Now, despite the benefits of forest fires, we need to do all we can to prevent wildfires, because they can also get very out of hand. So leave the prescribed burns to the professionals, and make sure to put out your campfires, properly dispose of your matches, and just know how to be safe with your own fire in the woods. Now that you know how to safely put out your campfire, make sure to double check the rules and regulations of the area you will be camping before you decide to have a campfire. Before you even have a campfire, make sure that you pick a good